Hey everybody, The Real Behemoth here, backing out with another video for Heroes of History. Today we're going to be going over our yellow Tesla updated tier list. Now in D tier we have Jane Austen. She's going to be absolutely useless for you in this mode. Her skill obviously does not work against the boss, and when it does work against the minions, it works against one minion. So I definitely don't recommend using her in this mode. Now Ada, she's going to do a little bit of cluster damage against the minions, but again, not a ton of utility, very useless when it comes to this level. In B tier, we have Charlemagne, we have Beethoven, Condé, and our other 2 stars there as well. Charlemagne, he's going to be okay in Yellow Tesla, but you're not going to find him very useful against the boss specifically. A little bit against the minions, but not too crazy. Beethoven, his stun can definitely prove very useful when it comes against the minions to keep the rest of your heroes up by them doing a little bit less damage while they're stunned for a couple of seconds. But again, not a lot of DPS against the boss himself, and not a lot of DPS against the minions itself either. You're really going to primarily use him for the stun if that's what you're choosing to throw in. If that's who you're choosing to throw into your Tesla team. Now, some of these 2 stars here, the next two stars that we've got are going to both do single target DPS to the boss and damage to the boss. And you're going to find their damage is actually pretty solid against the boss, especially against those earlier Tesla levels. You're going to end up swapping them out probably later on for some of your 4 and 5 star heroes to continue pushing in the later levels just due to their level cap and ability caps. But for, I'd say up until, 11 or 12, they're definitely usable. You may be able to even use them later on as well. Now, Quantumok, the last 2 star we've got in B tier, he is going to be one of your primary, if not your primary, yellow healer. And so he's in B tier, but again, he's only in B tier because of his level and ability cap. And so he may not be entirely end game worthy, but we're definitely all going to be using him in our lineups in order to continue pushing and keeping our heroes at high HP if possible. Now for Washington, in A tier we've got Washington, Joan of Arc, King Minos, Louis, Tomo, and Inanna. Now, Washington, with his damage spread, is going to be solid against the boss and against the minions if you are able to wipe the minions pretty easily and pretty quickly. But it could also be a double-edged sword, which is why he's not an S tier. Because if there's going to be a lot of damage done to everybody, they're all going to share that ton of damage, and you're going to die off a little easier, especially because you have very limited heals for Yellow Tesla. Now, Joan of Arc is going to be okay, but is actually going to be one of the more solid heroes in Yellow Tesla. She's going to give you a little bit of a heal, and at later ability levels, also a team attack buff. So there is potential to move her up to S tier, but that's after her ability is close to max or maxed. Now, Kin, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with my Kin placement, and here's why. If you are going to be pushing in Yellow Tesla, a lot, if not most of the heroes you're using are not going to be ranged heroes. And you're going to find that Kin is going to die off either first or second. And so there's not going to be a ton of, later in later time in the boss fight, he's going to end up being, dead, and he's not going to be very useful. King Minos is going to be very solid to tank against those minions with his 5-second taunt, his shield, his heal. He's going to be very solid, well-rounded, but just because he doesn't do, any damage in his ability, really, I did place him in A tier for this Yellow Tesla tier list. Louis, just due to lack of healers, his shield to your teammates is going to prove very useful in Yellow Tesla. And so that is the big reason why I placed him in A tier for this tier list. Tomo is going to be one of your main cluster clearers, and she actually does have very high base attack stats, and so she is going to be doing a lot of basic attack damage to the boss himself as well. Inanna is that single target damage dealer. She's going to be one of your main, yellow Tesla users. And she's going to be very easily obtainable, easily max awaken, so you're going to find a lot of use and utility out of her for this mode. Cleopatra, one of the best overall heroes in the game. She is S tier in really every single mode that there can be in. With her mind control ability and her damage, she's just very solid and well-rounded, and she's going to make the minions just basically all kill each other. So you're going to find that she's going to be very useful even in Tesla. Now, the other in S tier is going to be your 5-star Sir Lancelot. Like Achilles for red tier list, he is going to be your main source of damage dealing in yellow Tesla. And his single target focus damage is going to chop down that boss's HP pretty swiftly and quickly. Let me know what you guys would change and where you would move specific heroes and why. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.